you. So welcome everyone who is here live and welcome everyone who is watching this recording. My name is Emily. Really pleased that you can be here. We're just going to begin by getting rid of anything that we don't need to carry for this time we have together. So I've got a giant worry bowl here. You can feel free to put anything you want into it. I invite you to put your hands up onto your chest and just begin a gentle bilateral tapping here. Sending through that calming signal to the amygdala, to your nervous system that you are okay. And you might like to take a few deep breaths in this way as you tap gently. And just bring to the forefront of your mind anything that might be worrying you, making you anxious, any thoughts that are there that aren't serving you, anything that you might need to get rid of, anything you don't want to carry. Just going to adjust this microphone a little. Just continuing to breathe nice and deep in through the nose into your belly. And on each exhale, just letting go of a little more, letting it out into the worry bowl. You might like to see if you can express these things through sound. Maybe speaking them aloud or sighing them or humming. You might even prefer to scream or shout, whatever method you'd like to release them from you. You can go ahead now and let them go. You might even just like to imagine their way out of your body, out of your mind, into the worry bowl. And if you like, you can join me in another big deep breath in, breathing in through the nose, filling up your belly. And on the exhale, just see if you can relax any tension in your legs, in your lower limbs, in your knees, your thighs. And on the next breath, as you exhale, see if you can release any tension in your upper body, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, anywhere that you can let go of any tension. Just sigh it out now. And another deep breath in, breathing deep into your belly. And one more big sigh, just letting go. And we'll put this giant bowl of worries and concerns out of sight, out of mind for this time we have together. And you can have it back if you wish at the end, just let me know. And now that we've gotten rid of the things that we're aware of, let's give our subconscious mind the permission to let go as well. So you can repeat after me, stating out loud, I give my subconscious mind permission to let go of my worries and fears now. And just taking a moment to notice if there is still areas of tension in the body that might be holding on subconsciously to anything, any worries, any fears or angers. Just noticing where they are. And we're going to go ahead and with slightly cupped hands placed on your lower belly, we're going to tap our way over each part of our body and just imagine that you're able to shift the energy of any stuckness through each part of you. So tapping your way up onto your chest and then over towards one arm and tapping all the way down that inner arm, coming down to give us all a round of applause, big happy seal in the middle, big smile if you can muster it, and then tapping your way back up, all the way back up to give yourself a big pat on the back for showing up for yourself in this way, and then tapping over the other side and down the inside of this arm. And big happy seal, happy walrus in the middle again, big round of applause, and then tapping your way all the way back up, shifting anything that's stuck within, big pat on the back again, and then just bringing your attention to your face, and as though there's little raindrops traveling down the center of your face, just patting down with your fingers, and then another row just slightly further out, and one more again down the edge of your face. And making gentle fists with your hand, we're going to tap our way over the top of the head and down to the back of the neck. And then another one just slightly further out, down and around. And then just above the ears and down and around behind the back of your neck. And finding your kidneys there on your lower back, giving them a pat before we tap our way down the outside of both our legs onto the top of our feet, and then coming back up the inside. And coming to rest our hands back on our belly. You might like to close your eyes down and just take a nice big deep breath in and sighing it out. And just checking in with the sensations that you're feeling in your body in this moment. Maybe noticing that slight buzzing sensation from the tapping. Maybe noticing a settling of your emotions, or maybe emotions are rising up. Whatever is true for you, just acknowledge it in this moment, knowing it's okay and you are safe here. This is a judgment-free space. You might be able to witness the thoughts that move through your mind, knowing that you are not those thoughts, and you can just watch them go. And just allowing yourself this moment to check in with how it truly feels to be you today. And when you feel ready, I invite you to make yourself even more comfortable if you can. If that means lying your body down, then go for it. You might like to grab a cushion for support in some place, maybe for your head, or you might like to hold on to it. Nice hug. Or you might like to hold on to your shoulders, or a softened version of the self-hug. However you'd like to position yourself, you can just go ahead and make yourself comfortable now. Now, as you settle into your space a little more comfortably, you might like to continue that check-in on your body. And perhaps you'd like to start at your feet, noticing how they feel when you're still. Maybe noticing how your feet feel against whatever surface is beneath you. And you might choose to move from there, scanning upwards, noticing the sensations through the rest of your legs. Perhaps pausing for a moment to check in with how it feels in your hips. Maybe you're aware of some tension releasing here. Perhaps with each exhale, you're able to relax this area a little more. And you might be choosing to bring your attention to your stomach, noticing the internal sensations here. Maybe noticing that as you breathe, your belly moves. And perhaps your attention follows the rest of your bodily movements that coincide with your breathing. Maybe noticing how your ribs and chest move as you circulate that air through your airways. Maybe you're choosing to tune into the rhythm that your heart has set for this moment in time. Your unique rhythm, that constant, steady beat in the background of the song and dance of your life. You might be feeling called to bring your attention up to your neck. Maybe you're able to relax your throat a little more with each exhale. Perhaps also allowing a softening of your jaw. Perhaps you're able to allow a softening of all of your facial muscles. Whilst at the same time, you might be able to feel the worrisome energy shift right out of your brow, letting that worry simply fall off your face. And in a similar way, perhaps you're able to also let go of the thoughts that are whirling around in your mind, recognizing that here in this moment, there is no need to hold on to them. Here in this moment, what's actually needed is for those thoughts to float on out of your mind, simply letting each one go. And you might notice how, as you relax even deeper now into your body, each breath allows for even more of those thoughts to become freed from your mind. And noticing how each exhale is an invitation for your body to let go of a little more tension. And perhaps your own body is inviting you to settle even deeper now into the experience of relaxation, knowing that there is no right way and there is no wrong way to relax. There is just your way. And as you relax in your own way, only as comfortably and deeply as you choose, you might decide to give yourself the luxury of full comfort. And as you relax comfortably in this way, I invite you to imagine that every breath is like a gentle wave, soothing your mind and body, carrying you deeper into a state of ease. As you continue to breathe, you might choose to check in with your entire body, noticing where your walls are, where you end and the external world begins. Perhaps becoming aware of the temperature on your skin and feeling the pressure of your body against the surface beneath you that supports you. And you might like to imagine that any remaining thoughts in your mind begin to soften, like clouds drifting across a sky. You don't have to chase them. You can simply watch them as they move across the air, knowing that there is absolutely nothing you need to do right now, nothing you need to solve or figure out. And with this awareness, you might like to go ahead and give yourself permission to be exactly where you are and to be exactly who you are right now. And I'd like to invite you to imagine a peaceful place, a place where you feel completely at ease, a place where you can simply be without any demands or expectations. It might be a quiet meadow, a peaceful beach, or even a cozy room filled with warmth and surrounded by your favorite things. Whatever place comes to mind is just perfect for you. As you imagine yourself in this place of yours, bringing it to life by noticing the colors and the shapes, the textures and the sounds and the smells, and noticing how your body responds. Perhaps there's a deeper sense of calm spreading through you. Maybe you feel a gentle release of tension. Whatever you notice as you notice these things in your safe place is exactly right for you. I invite you to imagine that there is a path just beside this place of yours, a path that leads to a beautiful garden. And as you start walking down this path, you notice how nice it is to be outdoors, breathing in the fresh air and noticing the beauty that surrounds you. And in this garden, you see a magnificent tree, ancient and strong, with its roots buried deep in the earth. This tree has weathered many storms, but it stands tall, resilient, and unyielding. And you find yourself drawn to this tree, feeling a connection to its strength and wisdom. And as you stand before it, you notice a small, clear stream flowing nearby, the water sparkling in the sunlight. And this stream represents the flow of your life, sometimes smooth and sometimes turbulent, but always moving forward. And as you watch the water flow, you might realize that you too have been moving forward, even when it felt like you were standing still. And perhaps you're able to make the connection between those rocks placed in the middle of the stream and your own challenges, knowing that each challenge, each setback has formed a part of your journey, shaping you and guiding you toward a deeper understanding of yourself. Now, as you stand beside the stream and turn your attention back towards that magnificent tree, I invite you to imagine that the tree is speaking to you, not with words, but with feelings or with images, whichever might be easier for you to understand. And in this language that you choose, this tree says to you, you are not a failure. You are not defined by what you cannot do. You are defined by the strength you show in continuing to try. Like me, you are rooted deeply in the earth, connected to the wisdom and strength within you. And as you listen, you begin to understand that the expectations you've placed on yourself, those ideals of perfection, have been shaped by the voices of the world around you. The tree continues. Perfection is an illusion, a mirage that disappears the closer you get to it. True growth, true strength comes not from being perfect, but from accepting yourself as you are in this moment. It comes from recognizing that every leaf that falls, every branch that bends, is a part of your natural cycle of growth. And you might begin to feel a sense of relief, a sense of release as well, as you realize that you no longer need to carry the burden of perfection. You no longer need to measure yourself by the standards of others. You are free, free to be who you are in all your complexity. You are free to be exactly where you are at in your life, knowing that you are on your own unique journey that can't possibly be compared to others. And now, as you look into the stream, you're able to see your reflection. And you notice that there is a light within you, a light that has always been there, even in the darkest times. You may or may not have seen or felt this light throughout your life. Maybe you were too busy seeking light externally that you didn't notice until now that you actually held light within you. And this light is your inner strength and your inner wisdom. It is the part of you that knows deep down you are enough, just as you are. It is the part of you that knows you are capable, resilient, and that you are worthy of all the love and kindness you so freely give to others. And as you see this light showing in the reflection of the stream, you might just start to feel a deep sense of peace and acceptance. You might be realizing, or perhaps remembering, that your worth is not determined by what you achieve. Just like babies are born into existence 100% worthy of love from their very first moment, you too were born worthy of love and have remained worthy of love, regardless of what you do or do not achieve. And now, as you take one last look at this beautiful tree at this peaceful stream, know that you can return here whenever you need to. Whenever you need to remind yourself of your strength, your resilience, or your worth. And as you prepare to walk back along the path, back to the place where you started, you have a decision to make, because you know you can't carry everything you've been carrying. And so you might choose to leave behind that feeling of perfectionism or the feeling of overwhelm. You might even choose to let go of those unrealistic expectations that you once carried, letting them gently fall to the ground. Or you might prefer to skim them like pebbles across the surface of the stream. You might choose to leave many things behind, and in their place, you could choose to carry with you a newfound sense of peace and self-acceptance for who you are and where you're at in your life. And as you walk back along the path, you might notice how you feel lighter now, more at ease, knowing that you are leaving behind the weight of unrealistic expectations and the burden of perfection. You might notice how now you feel refreshed, renewed, and perhaps you even feel empowered by your choices to let go of those things that weren't serving you anymore. And as you meander your way back into that welcoming, safe place of yours, you might take in the beauty that surrounds you, perhaps taking a deep breath in and breathing the air from around you, allowing it to travel into your body. And perhaps as that air journeys through you, you might start paying attention to the way it shifts your body, the way your belly moves, the way your chest moves, and the way the air changes temperature in the process. And as you notice these things, I invite you to start bringing your awareness back to anything else you choose to focus on. Perhaps in this moment your body is calling for a little movement. You might like to shrug your shoulders or move your fingers and toes. So I invite you to simply listen in to the needs of your body in this moment. And if you're lying down, I invite you to remain lying down. And for those sitting upright, I invite you to join me down on the floor, curling yourself up into a little ball, bringing your knees up to your chest, and just allowing yourself to explore some movement, massaging your back on the floor. And for anyone who is practicing in a chair and unable to get down onto the ground, you might like to just bring one of your knees up to your chest, maybe rolling your ankles a little, bringing the other up to your chest as well, just in your own time. Just allowing yourself to explore that feeling of a gentle hug, giving yourself some kindness and some love. And then when you feel ready, you can allow one of your legs to stretch out before you, if you have the space. And just drop the other knee across your body, stretching that other arm out the other way. You might like to follow it with your gaze, creating a nice big twist in the side of your body. And just breathe nice and deeply through that release there. And if you're in a chair, And you can create that same stretch, just crossing one leg over, grabbing a hold of that knee for leverage and taking the other arm out and around behind you. And again, just holding that side stretch for a few deep breaths. And as always, just listening in to the needs of your body. If you need to come out of that stretch sooner, and just bring yourself back to the center. If you'd like to stay in that one longer, you can stay longer. And if you wish, just bringing yourself back to center and switching it over to the other leg, crossing that other knee across the body, cracking your back like mine if you need to. And then when you're feeling ready, once your body's had enough, just bringing that knee back. Keeping it up, we're going to bring our other foot to cross over it, creating a nice figure four, reaching through, grabbing hold of the back of that thigh, and just bringing that stretch towards your chest. You can gently rock your body side to side or just hold this in stillness and breathe through the stretch. And the chair variation creates much the same position. Placing that foot over and just bringing your chest down. You might like to fold a little way over, or perhaps the whole way. Just going as little or as far as you need to today. It might be different on other days, and just accept exactly where you're at today and whatever your body is capable of in this moment. If you're loving this stretch, then you can stay right here. You're also welcome to switch it over to the other leg and recreate it on the other side. Once your body's had enough on this side as well, you can release your knees, place your feet on the mat, just sort of shoulder width apart. We're just going to drop our knees to one side or as far as you can go. Just hold there for a moment, just letting your body relax to one side before taking it over to the other side and doing the same thing, just holding for a moment. I'll show you the chair variation in a second. But once you've held on both sides for a moment, you might like to get some more speed into it and just transition between one and the other, maybe following your breath, or you might like to hold each side for a couple of breaths. It's totally up to you. You get to choose your pace. And for anyone practicing from the chair, just making sure you're stable to begin with, and then just dropping one knee at a time, getting that rotation happening. Movement in the hips. We often don't move our hips enough to release all the trauma that we store here. So you might like to hold on one side for a few breaths and then bring it back up and hold on the other side. Or you might like to move a little quicker. It's totally up to you. When you feel ready, once you've had enough of this movement, and those of you who are on the mat, I invite you to just bring your feet together and let your knees fall out either side. Nice big opening there in your hips. And you might like to bring your arms up and out to either side as well, just getting a nice big opening all through the center. And just taking some deep breaths into the core of you, into your belly, letting it move from your belly up through your chest. And then out from your chest and out from your belly. And for anyone practicing from the chair, you can recreate a similar opening in the center, just widening out that stance, maybe leaning forward to create a nice stretch here in the groin and in the hips. You can either just lean on your knees, or you might like to bring your hands open as well and just breathe nice and deep. into your center. Just noticing anything that's coming up for you, whether that be sensations in the body or emotions in the mind or in the body. Anything at all, just noticing what's moving through you in this moment. And when you're ready, you can stretch out your legs so that you're a nice long line on your mat, and just have your hands either placed up for receiving or down for grounding. And just closing your eyes down, and if you're in a seat, just making yourself comfortable in your seated position. We're just going to do a quick body scan, looking for any areas of tension that might be lingering, and just noticing where they might be. No judgment here, just noticing what's happening in the body. And in a moment, we're going to go through and do our tense and release exercise. So we'll begin with our feet and ankles, and we'll take a deep breath in and tense up the area that I tell you, and then hold the tension, hold the breath, and you can use my exhale as your cue to let go. You can hold for less or more time, totally up to you. We'll begin now, breathing in and tensing up your feet and your ankles. And relaxing that tension when you're ready. And next we're going to do from ankles to knees, so tightening up the shins and the calves. Deep breath in. And the next one, we're going to focus on from our knees to our buttocks. Deep breath in, tightening up those thighs and buttocks. And next we're going to do our stomach and lower back. Deep breath in, tightening up this area. Next we're going to do our chest and upper back. Breathing in nice and deep, tightening up this area. Next we're going to do both of our arms from fingertips to shoulders. Deep breath in. And next we're going to focus on our neck and shoulders. Deep breath in, tightening up this area. And next we'll do our face and our head. So deep breath in, tighten up your face. And letting go when you're ready. Now we'll do one more. It's up to you if you want to pick one area that felt really good, or a couple, or maybe a whole body tense and release. So your choice now. Deep breath in. And relaxing and letting go. We might just take a couple of deep breaths before we move from this position as well. Just noticing how your body feels now after doing that exercise. And when you feel ready, you can roll yourself gently to one side and press yourself up back into a seated position. If you're able to, you're welcome to stay lying down as well. And as you reorient yourself, you might like to get a sip of water. And when you feel ready, I invite you to join me with some connection to our body. We're going to give ourselves a face massage. So taking your hands and pulling down across your brow and pinching your eyebrow when you get there. as though you're shifting worrisome energy right off your face, just taking it out of your expression, dragging it down the brow and smushing it into your eyebrow. And then once you reach the edge of your eyebrow, you might like to just paint a soft line on your eyelids and really tune into the softness there of your skin. And then another just slightly above, we'll just paint a little rainbow up our face, noticing how our face feels, and maybe pressing firmer on the eyebrows when you get there, noticing the texture of your eyebrow hairs, and then moving slightly further up each time, shifting that worry. And then coming down to your temples, you might like to massage in little circles here. And then bringing it down over that jawline, finding that joint where your jaw connects and just letting your mouth fall softly open. Finding any tender areas here, in under that cheekbone and right in to your cheeks. Another area where we store so much tension. You might like to just press and move your head around a little. Can feel really good to sort of angle your hands into the crevice of your jaw. Just sort of experiment with shifting that back and forth, or shifting your head side to side gently. Pretend like me that you're a clown at the show. And just notice how much tension you're storing here. You might be grinding your teeth in the night. Maybe you're just clenching there. So just massaging out any tension you can find, and you might like to give your cheeks a smush. Massaging anywhere that you feel called to go. You might feel called to explore the bridge of your nose, or down around the sides or the upper lip, or onto the chin and along your jawline. Maybe your body's saying, go have a massage of the ears. Maybe down either side of the neck. Gently massaging that vagus nerve from the outside. And perhaps taking your hands all the way into your hair, from the back, the base of your skull, and just massaging all the surface of your skull, just noticing how that feels, how it feels where you massage, and how it might feel in different parts. Maybe noticing the tingling in your legs if you feel that, or any release that's happening elsewhere in the body. And you might like to take your hands and place them on your neck and shoulders and just massage into any tension that you're feeling here. Maybe just stretching out your neck a little bit as you're connecting with this place. Just really connecting in with your body, trying to remain present with the sensations, but knowing that you're human. If your mind wanders, that's okay. You can just notice where it wanders to and then bring it back to now. And you might like to take your hands and just massage down each of your arms, noticing how that feels. Noticing if you've got any tension there from holding onto your phone, perhaps massaging into your hands once you get there. Maybe pulling down on each of your digits, or perhaps doing that twisting, detoxifying action, using the knuckles of one hand to twist down each of those. Just really exploring all of these points, knowing that they connect in with other parts of the body, helping to get your healing systems back online. Once you've finished exploring each of your fingers, you might like to come back to the palm of your hand and just notice all that beautiful texture there that makes your hand uniquely yours. You could experiment for a moment on an acupressure point if you like, in that webbed part, noticing any shifts and changes. Or maybe just exploring your wrist or off to the other side. And just exploring on this side in a similar way. Enjoying the peace and quiet of this moment that you've gifted yourself. I don't know if you can hear that, but someone just started up with a chainsaw or something in the background. Oh, the peace and quiet. Serenity. And once you've finished exploring both your hands, you might like to just get some movement going between your wrists. You might even like to get some movement flowing in your midsection, just a gentle sway either side, or perhaps a big exploration of moving your entire body. Just letting it flow anywhere it wants to go. You might like to start gently with a sway and then bring your arms into the exploration of movement and really see where your body can take you. See in the ways you'd like to stretch it and move it. Noticing how those muscles of yours engage and contract and then let go and release. And if you like, you can add to this one that humming, that extra stimulation of the vagus nerve, massaging it from the inside. So gathering up a nice big breath of air and hum as you allow that air to be freed from your body. Just sending through more signals of calm, of relaxation, of rest and digest to your nervous system. I'm not worrying about how you might look, just enjoying the feeling, the interpretive dance of how you feel in this moment. And if you like, you can continue on, or you can bring your movement back to a little bit of stillness. And let's open up our lymphatic flow for the day. Maybe you've already done it, but just for those of us who haven't, just massaging your collarbone, so just above and below, just massaging it up and down 10 times over. And then tapping on this area 10 times. And then on the other side. And tapping. And then coming back up underneath the jawline here, we're just gonna come gentle pressure. It might be a little tender. We're just gonna rub downwards here 10 times. And then tapping. And then on the other side. And tapping. And then just making those gentle fists with your hands, and from the center of the chest we'll move outwards and then back to the center. Back and forth. Loosening up this whole area, and then when you feel ready, just tapping on this area 10 times. And then underneath one of your arms, just rubbing. And then punching or tapping into that area, whichever's easiest for you. And on the other side. And punching in there. And then underneath your breasts or pecs, just alternating that top hand back and forth. And tapping. And then just finding the crease in your groin and with your thumbs in a down and out motion, just going to rub into that crease 10 times. And then tapping. And then just underneath your knees for the last one. And tapping underneath there. And just coming back to your seated position wherever you are. And we're just going to move through some of the tapping points, the emotional freedom technique tapping points. So beginning on that karate point there. And I'm just going to leave it open to you guys to say whatever needs to be said. So as you're tapping along, so you can just follow along with me, we can switch hands now. We're going to move through these points, and I invite you to bring to mind something that you felt has been challenging you this day or this week in the lead up to now. Anything that you might have put in the worry bowl, let's pick up something again and just let it come to the forefront of your mind. And imagining that challenge now, just imagine what you would say if you are helping a friend of yours, maybe your best friend, overcome the same thing. You might like to move your tapping up to your eyebrows. And just imagine what advice you might give if your best friend came to you with the same issue. What encouragement would you say to them? How would you comfort them? How would you help them feel uplifted or empowered? Just moving over to the side of the eyes if you're ready. And underneath the eyes. So feel free to just speak aloud anything that you would say to this best friend of yours who's trying to overcome the issue that you've been experiencing. And bringing your tapping down underneath the nose onto the upper lip. You may not have the solution, and that's okay. You might just have some words of comfort. And coming down onto the chin with your tapping. And down onto your collarbones when you're ready. And just imagining yourself telling your friend the things that you need to tell them, offering whatever it is you need to offer them. And when you're ready, bring your tapping down underneath one arm. You might just be offering some validation that, yeah, this is really challenging. And I'm here with you for this. And tapping on the other side. And then bringing your tapping up to the top of your head. Just tapping here for a moment. Saying any last things that you might need to say to this best friend of yours experiencing a similar challenge. And then if you like, you can stop your tapping and just take a nice big breath in. And on the exhale, just imagine letting that go. You can put it back down in the worry bowl or anywhere else you'd like to put it. And if you can, just making yourself comfortable. Again, you might like to stay seated just with your hands in your lap with your eyes closed, or you might like to lay yourself down. Again, it's totally up to you. If you wanted to grab hold of a cushion, I just invite you to close your eyes and imagine 3 years from now and you've completely overcome this challenge. And I want you to imagine what that feels like. And you may have overcome the challenge within days or weeks, or maybe it has taken a long while. But just imagine yourself projecting into that future of yours, having overcome this challenge, whatever it might be. And just tune into how it feels, how you're feeling, having recognized how strong you were. Maybe you're in a different place, in a different season. Maybe you're in the same place. Just imagine yourself taking a look around in 3 years' time and noticing what's around you, what's the same and what has changed. You might be hearing the same sounds, or there might be different sounds. Just allow them to filter into your ears, whatever sounds might be around you. And you might like to imagine yourself opening your eyes up and taking a look around and just noticing, to begin with, what time of day is it? Is there the sun or the moon in the sky, or maybe you're inside looking at a fireplace, maybe a lamp. Just notice wherever the light is coming from and where it casts its glow, what it illuminates nearby. What beauty can you see? What shapes? What textures? What colors? Are there shadows? Are the shadows long? Are the shadows moving? Is there movement around you, or is there stillness? Just allow yourself to take it all in and just notice how it feels, how the beauty makes you feel. Maybe you want to reach out and touch one of the textures. How does that make you feel? You might be holding something in your hands, maybe noticing the weight of it. You might like to take a deep breath and breathe in any smells of this place that you're sitting or standing in 3 years' time, having overcome this challenge. Does it smell the same? Does it smell different? What is it that you can smell? And is there any tastes? And just tuning in to the sensations of your feet, noticing if you've got shoes on in 3 years' time, or are you barefoot? Maybe your feet are submerged in water or sand or mud. Maybe you're standing on grass. Just notice what's underfoot. Maybe you wiggle your toes. Just notice how it feels. Maybe noticing as well if the temperature is different and how that might feel on your skin. Noticing if there's a breeze. Noticing how fabric feels on your skin. And just getting a sense for how it feels on the outside of your body before we go a little deeper, going into the internal world and noticing what sensations are different in the body in 3 years' time. You might be noticing strength in your limbs, strength in your muscles. Maybe you're noticing excitement in your stomach or in your chest. Maybe you're feeling proud of yourself for having overcome this challenge. Just notice how that feels in your body if you're able to feel it. Just notice how your heart might beat a little differently in the future. How your breath might move through you in a different way, or maybe exactly the same way. Just notice what changes when you've overcome this challenge. Really tune in to how it might feel in the body, how it might feel in your heart, and how it might feel in your mind. So maybe tuning into the thoughts that you would be having 3 years from now, having overcome this challenge of yours. Do you think differently? Are your thoughts more positive and hopeful? Maybe your outlook is more positive. Maybe your mindset has shifted. Just noticing what's changed in the way that you view the world, the way that you think about the world, or the way that you think about yourself in 3 years' time, having completely overcome this challenge that you've been facing. And if you don't already have a big smile on your face, I want you to see what happens when you put one on there now. See what happens to the rest of your body. Does any sensation change within you? You might like to just take your gaze upwards as though you're looking up into the sky and just have a big smile on your face. Maybe you'd like to bring your shoulders back and just breathe deep into the core of your body. And just really feel that feeling of having overcome this challenge, whatever that feeling might be, whether you can name it or not, just really feel it now. And then breathe the air from this that you're conjuring up, this feeling, this place, wherever you are in 3 years' time. Just breathe in that air and that feeling into your lungs. And with the exhale, just let go of any blocks or barriers, maybe thoughts that might hold you back. You can just let them go on the exhale. And on the next inhale, just breathing in more of this feeling, this pride or this joy, the excitement, the health, whatever it might be, just breathe it on into your body. And sigh out anything that's not serving you. And next breath in, you might like to imagine breathing in a color. So whatever is surrounding you, that energy of accomplishment, of joy, of pride, whatever it might be, go ahead and assign it a color and imagine that colorful energy moving into your lungs, spreading from your lungs throughout all of your airways to every part of your being, every cell, every organ. And each exhale can let go of a little darkness that you might be holding on to, maybe some self-limiting thoughts or beliefs, those things that might hold you back. You can continue on breathing in this way, just breathing in this beautiful color into your body, this healing feeling, just letting it travel throughout every part of you, and exhaling out anything that doesn't need to be within you. To the point where you've completely filled yourself up with whatever color it is, that colorful energy you've chosen. And it begins to spill from the top of your crown and cascades down all around you. You're just like this big, glowing, colorful bubble. And anyone who's around you that might be looking at you can't help but smile themselves. You're just so vibrant and radiant as you glow in this color you've chosen. And as you hold on to this feeling that you've conjured up in your mind and in your body, see if you'd like to set yourself an intention. And it could be something simple or it could be something big and grand, but just an intention of an action that you will take that helps you move closer towards accomplishing this feeling in your life, that helps you to overcome the challenge that you're facing. I'll give you a moment to think of your intention and state it out loud if you'd like. And then when you're feeling ready, you can just start to bring your awareness back to the room that you're in the present moment, and to the sensations of your body right now. And you might like to just reintroduce a gentle sway. You might like to shrug your shoulders or move your fingers and your toes, making those little micro adjustments of the body as you bring your awareness back. And eventually, when you're feeling ready, you can blink open your eyes and let the light come back in. And we'll finish up now by making 3 sounds of VOO together. So V-O-O-O-O continuously, as long as you can make the sound. And you might like to place one of your hands on your diaphragm and one on your chest, because what's happening is we're sending through a vibration down through the vagus nerve, through our vocal cords, stimulating it all from the inside, and you'll feel a vibration. You also feel how your diaphragm expands. You'll get a sense of how your heart really is truly beating, really tuning into those sensations of the body as we do this. So we'll do 3 sounds of Vu, beginning now with a big inhale. Vu. And again, breathing in nice and deep. One more, breathing in deep. You might just like to take a few deep breaths when you're finished with your eyes closed. Just taking another peaceful, quiet moment to check in with how it feels having done these practices, having given yourself this time and tuning in to yourself. You might even like to thank yourself for that decision. And that does bring us to the end. Before I stop the recording, I'll just remind you that there will be a donate link in the description. And I just want to thank you for joining us for this session. Of course, you don't have to donate, but if you have the means and would like to, you can, and it will help Sanctuary grow. So thank you for joining us.